Mighty achievement this is for our people concerned. We actually began making this play, although the script was written, but we actually began making it on Monday this week. On Monday morning was the first time that these people had met Dave and myself and Nico, our musician. It was the first time we had met Nico. So we had got a group of some people who knew each other, some people who had never met each other at all, in one room at Addington Square. And we had to start to make a theatre company. And the overriding achievement is that none of these people have ever, apart from maybe a school nativity or a school pantomime, taken part in a piece of theatre. So they have climbed a mountain in 3.5 days. They have not stopped working. Today has been non-stop. We started off with a small group of actors on Monday, people that could make it to that first day, and then we had more actors join us on the Tuesday, and we had more actors join us yesterday. So it really has been quite a progressive operation as we've moved towards tonight. So what for me is a really, really special occasion is that I have been with them, with Dave and with Nico, every inch of the way, and I have seen the way they have pushed themselves as hard as they possibly can to get what you're going to see tonight. We've had 3.5 days, folks. We've got scripts in hands. I defy anybody to learn a 45-minute piece of theatre in 3.5 days who's never stepped on a stage before in their lives and perform without a script in their hands. Hopefully, you'll actually start to forget the script when you hear the story. So, we make our mark. We make our mark in life in so many different ways. Marking the passage of time.
Marking time in music.
Hitting the mark. Getting good and bad marks in school.
Making a mark on a voting paper.
Mark my words.
Marking anniversaries. Indeed, marking hatches, matches and dispatches, births, marriages and deaths. Marks scratched on ancient cave walls, in prison cells, messages through time and cries for help, finger marks, footprints. Oh, and that chalky outline that the police draw when suspicion dangles over a dead body.
But what about the opposite? Those that leave no trace behind. Doesn't their time on earth count for something? People from past, our past and present, who fall in bitter times, their lives devalued, their loves and laughter, struggles and suffering reduced to a faded reference in a parish register.
Mark our words. We all walked this world once, and tonight we walk it again.
We will make our mark! Theatre is magic. It has the power to transform into time travel. So wrap up warm and think of where your next meal might be coming from as we take you to Surrey to
Cemetery stretching over 400 acres.
The resting place of 250,000 souls.
Most are marked by gravestone sculptures, some very grand.
Other not so, in fact, not marked at all.
London's poor, paupers' graves, unmarked and not much visited.
Until today, when we're all going to visit.
Paupers from 1850s London, the London of the Great Spin.
Transported in the wooden overcoats by train.
Indeed, the London Metropolis Railway next stop eternity. To what used to be the largest burial ground in Europe back then.
You'll find no records of us, all lost in World War II.
We are the London paupers of Victoria's time.
We rest in shared graves, softened now by trees.
We did exist. We do exist. We are, as they say, always among you.
And tonight we make our mark and we're going to transport you back to
The
Great Sting! Ladies and gentlemen, lads and lasses, a song of sorts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Poverty, poverty knocks. It follows me every day. Poverty, poverty knocks. I work but it isn't in vain. Poverty, poverty knocks. Don't tell me it's easy to pray.
Poor ways are very empty, but others have plenty. Don't blame me if I go astray.
Up every morning at 5. It's a wonder that we're still alive.
stretching and yawning in this cold morning back to the dreary old drive.
Poverty, poverty knocks. It follows me every day. Poverty, poverty knocks. I work but there's little in pay. Poverty, poverty knocks. Don't tell me it's easy to pray.
For when our bed is empty, but others have plenty, don't tell me that you know the way.
Join us all now in a rather glorious civic hall. The intricate and expensive plasterwork on the ceiling. It looks like a fabulous cake decoration. The walls are deep green, and on them are gilded portraits of great worthy men, all of them very well fed. The crystal chandeliers shiver and sparkle in the sunlight. there is the smell of poached salmon and roast beef. Exotic fare, all carefully cultivated in hothouses. Even a pineapple or a melon. And what is more, there is enough on this table to feed a small regiment. But where will the scraps go?
To feed the poor and the needy who are gathered only yards away from this palatial hall.
The poor and the needy.
It will do the vagrants and the poor people no good at all to get a taste for luxury. People know their station in life. But it's up to their betters to manage the poor's expectations. So here we are at
A meeting of the great and good in Victorian London.
At least we think we are.
The situation is becoming a disgrace. Life expectancy in this day and age down to just 37 years.
Not among us, surely.
It affects us all, but mostly, it has to be said, it's amongst us all.
oh well, they do say the good die young.
Do they indeed? Let us hope it isn't one of your sons and daughters next.
London is now home to 1 in 5 of the country's population. That's over 6 million souls living in the capital.
And when I ask, are all these extra bodies to be hosted?
I smell a business opportunity.
Well, I can only smell the great thing.
Yes, let's start to build. Now, where shall we start?
May I suggest St Giles?
Ooh.
Spitalfields?
Isn't some of that land unsuitable for building? After all, it is very marshy.
And clay soil. It's not good for building land at all. Not at all. No matter. Let's build a slum. Wheelbarrow coming through. Go on. Get digging. Get digging. Anybody need any more compound?
Yeah, please. Thank you.
You're not getting very far with that hole.
I know.
Stop! Stop! What you are doing, cease work immediately.
What's the problem?
That's the problem.
Yeah, what? What's wrong with it? Sorry, we haven't done that very deep, but it's clay soil. It's very wet, it's very heavy. It's hard work digging out foundations.
Who said anything about foundations? I don't want foundations.
What's the point of building something that'll fall down if the wind blows at all?
It'll just collapse like a house of cards.
It will be unsafe for those that live in it.
I repeat, no foundations. They take time and they take money, and I don't want to spend much of either.
I agree. What's the point of building something that's going to fall down in the wind?
Listen well and listen close. I want it built 3 stories high,
What?
and I want it fast.
I'll tell you something, this for nothing. I won't live in something like that with my family.
You would if you were desperate, and who lives in this building will be. Oh, and don't waste bricks on making thick walls. Half a brick thickness between neighbours will be fine.
Everybody will know everybody else's business. Babies crying, people rowing, people making up, people just living.
Privacy is expensive. You have to pay for the privilege. I'm just doing a service to the community, so these people have a place to lay their heads at night. And one last thing. When you've completed this magnificent edifice, attach this to the wall, so my work here will be known forever as Tomlin's new town. actually, Tomlin hasn't been immortalised except as the builder of the largest slum in London. And it no longer exists. In its place is an utterly genuine, quote, exquisitely ugly, magnificent suburban type Birmingham, where the better class of person now lives. You can hop along and have a look if you wish. See how the other half lives.
Let's hear the children speak.
Polly had a dolly who was sick, and she called for the doctor to be good. Doctor came with her, and he knocked on the door. He looked at the dolly, shook his head. He said to Miss Polly, "You straight to bed." He wrote on the paper for her, "Beau, beau, beau. I'll be back in the morning with my beau, beau, beau." Come on, everybody.
Join in. We all know this one, don't we? Do the actions.
Ollie had a dolly who was sick, sick, sick. She called for the doctor to be quick, quick, quick. The doctor came with his hat and his bag, and he knocked on the door with a rat, rat, rat. He looked at the dolly and he shook his head. He said to Miss Polly, "Put her straight to bed." He wrote on the paper for a bill, bill, bill. "I'll be back in the morning with my bill, bill, bill."
Lucy Lockett lost her pocket.
Jesus, Mr. found it.
Nothing in it, but the binding round. It's worth a trip just to see the exquisite water fountain. Isn't that a weather present by Prince Albert, his young bride Victoria? A bit over the top if you ask me. What's wrong with a few tea towels and pots like the rest of us get? If we're lucky.
Yeah, that's right.
And I must show you this. Here in Tiberium is a teeny weeny cemetery, which could be mistaken as the final resting place of fairies. Do you read the headstones? They're all graves of beloved family pets. It's funny, isn't it? The paupers are piled up in unmarked graves. But if you're wealthy, well, the family dog gets better treated in life and in death.
Enough of this pointless envy. Where do we all go when the going gets rough? We make ourselves off to the nearest tavern or the alehouses we can. The price of 1 guinea. Anybody can open up an alehouse, and thousands did. So welcome to Mark Kelly's low-class establishment. Speak for yourself, The spit and sawdust. Try to use the spittoons, all of yous, when you're expectorating. When we're what?
She means gobbing.
Flobbing. Hawking.
Spottering.
Beating.
That's right. And if any of you get involved in argy-bargy, brawling, or argufying, flying fists,
We know
habits
of the sawdust. We know.
Mark Kelly.
Yeah?
How much for your pint of your finest ale?
1 penny, same as always, and this gin for them
Hey!
How you fix for a sing-song?
Yay!
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm a chicken, I'm a
coming to share some of the most horrific and strange stories of deaths in Victorian London. Over to you, Mr.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to regale you with some of the more sensational causes of death in our great Victorian age. Some will stretch your incredulity to breaking point, but I can assure you they all happened as narrated. Let us begin with the story of the young man killed by a mouse. It ran across the factory bench and all the factory workers ran screaming away. The mouse ran up the overseer's arm, he gasped aloud and down into his throat it went. Was gone and stone dead. Then there was the lamplighter, who had difficulty waking up in the morning. So he devised a system whereby he attached to the clock a long, thin piece of string which reached across to a large stone on a plank. Come the next morning, the alarm goes off.
Ding,
5 o'clock!
Ding, 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 ding. No, it's 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock. And then what happens? Lo and behold, the string breaks and the stone rolls off the plank and down onto his head. Stone dead. And what about the man? What about the man killed by a coffin? Well, he was a pallbearer and walking, supporting the coffin down the nave, he happened to stumble and fall. And lo and behold, the coffin dropped onto his head. Stone dead.
Well, it is said the widow of the deceased.
The widow of the deceased.
She went into
hysterics.
I don't think she meant laughter.
Because she died of laughter.
And at last, the baffling case.
The fascinating case. Oh yes, in my records here, the fascinating case of the woman who died mysteriously. Nobody could imagine what was the cause. Until her sister said,
No, the doctor's got to open her up.
but the sister said,
No.
But the sister said, who knew more than the doctor, because the doctor didn't know the cause of death. The sister said,
No, the doctor opens her up and he pulls out this great big weighing 2 pounds. And he's got a grin like a duck.
down her throat. Her sister, now we get it, her sister said,
Yeah?
her sister said that it was her own hair. She had been eating her hair for years. So it was a case, it was a case of, let's face it, hair today and gone tomorrow. Now it is time for that fashion display, that stroll of the major causes of death in Victorian England.
Coming in at number 10, it's natural decay.
At number 9 is dropsy.
At number 8, diarrhea. Especially in the summer, so.
Yeah.
7, inflammation.
Oh,
Lucky 6, pickup sticks. Our old friend pneumonia.
At 5, it's convulsions.
Who's knocking at the door? Number 4. Convulsions.
At number 3, bronchitis, mark, it's mark.
At number 2, stillborn. They may be small, but they still count.
And drum roll, please, for what
It is.
Unknown.
Oh,
What
about cholera?
What about cholera? We'll come to the blue sickness next, shall we?
Colonists killed more than 10,000 Londoners in 1 year alone. The River Thames became known as the Great Stink because it was now a giant dumping ground for human waste, sewage, even bodies. The mist filled with the polluted particles rising from the soil either side of the Thames was known as the Great Miasma. This was deadly when breathed in, as thousands were forced to do. The writer, Henry Mayhew, paid a visit to one spot in 1849. He wrote about it. He called it the visit to the cholera district of Bermondsey. He reported that children bathed in the sewage running down the streets. Also, people filled their pails with polluted water and then left them to stand for several days till all the filth and detritus would rise to the top. They then skimmed off all this filth and waste and thought that the water beneath was clean.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Teen girl falls into prostitution.
They both their vote, no change to be anything else.
Street urchins put cabs at risk.
Children cause cholera outbreak by bathing in drinking water.
Who's going to fix housing?
Children drinking soil water.
Is this a holy thing to see?
In a rich and fruitful land.
Faith reduce the misery.
Fed with cold and usurious hands.
Is that trembling cry a song?
Can it be a song of joy?
So many children, poor.
Sorry. It's a land of property.
A meeting at Southwark Council.
Oh, now, pay attention. We have just one incident on our agenda today. That London overcrowded churchyard.
Oh, do we have to? Can't we discuss something a little more cheerful?
Well, our local vicar says there's simply no more resting room to be had in our cemetery. We're full up.
Same here, we're literally bursting at the seams. We've buried so many souls on top of each other that the level of churchyard has actually risen.
And what about effluvium?
The effluvium! The effluvium!
Effluvium what?
Effluvium. Liquid seeping out of decaying bodies.
Really? Do we have to?
Yes,
Yes, we
do!
The effluvium is getting into the city's water supply, contaminating it and causing the deaths of 1,000 more. And they are pulling up the graveyards, filling up graveyards. It's never ending.
Parliament must do something. They must act.
The 1851 Burials Act.
Something just had to be done.
In 1851, Parliament, hoping to confront the problem head-on, passed an act to amend the laws concerning the burial of the dead in the metropolis, or, more simply put, the Burial Act. Now, what they hoped that this would solve outright the problem of overcrowding in London's graveyards by banning any new burials of the dead in the built-up areas of central London.
Job done, problem solved.
Except people refused to play ball. They still kept dying in the thousands.
So private enterprise comes to the rescue, and out of death was born Brockwood Cemetery.
Now, the promoters of this company have one overriding ambition, namely to become London's one and only burial ground forevermore.
In order to achieve this lofty ideal, the promoters realised that they had to make the burial ground and the burials there more attractive than at any other London burial spot.
Great efforts were made then to ensure that in the grounds of the cemetery, it was perpetual spring, and all of the planting of the trees and the shrubs and the flowers was done with this in mind. A meeting now of the London Metropolis and National Mausoleum Company. Blah, 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 blah,
Gentlemen, we have just one item on the agenda today. How to get the deed there?
It's a problem, because our spanking new cemetery is 23 miles outside the capital.
What's wrong with horse-drawn hearses?
How's that going to work? It's very expensive.
Never
Never
fear,
fear,
the
the
two
two
Richards
Richards
are
are
here.
here.
Sir Richard Broome.
And Richard Squire, founders of this company, to the rescue. We have ambitions.
An ingenious plan to put before you.
We transport the dead and the mourners by rail.
By rail?
By rail, the Necropolis railway line, no less.
But as ingenious as the plan was, the trains did not meet with universal approval. Charles Bromfield, the Bishop of London, he opined that, well, the noise and the speed of the railway was incompatible with the solemnity of a Christian burial service.
And it would be unacceptable for the families of people from different social classes, both living and dead, to be forced to share the same train for the journey to the cemetery. In addition, there's the awful prospect of the superior classes being forced to jostle with the riffraff of London. And then there's the decided possibility that the coffins of those who had led decent and wholesome lives might be stashed alongside those of people whose lifestyles had been morally lax. Amen to that! Another meeting, the objections of the shareholders.
Blah, 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 blah.
We've invested invested our money in the London and South Western Railway, and it's our tracks and trains your carriages of the dead will be using.
What about our other passengers, our regular travellers?
They're not going to be in the hospitals for sharing journeys and coffins and funeral parties.
And that might mean less profits for their shareholders.
Indeed, it could reduce interest to nothing more than a mail spaghetti service.
Oh. I will agree on condition that passengers can be separated into first class, second class and third class.
Good thinking. Then we can keep the superior classes away from the great unwashed, both on the stations and on the trains.
Excellent. I will go with that. They won't even have to breathe the same air as one another.
In my experience, the dead don't do much breathing at all.
There's no need for poor taste, and we all know that in death we are still clearly divided.
The necropolis railway begins. Grab your costumes. Right, we're on the train. Hold your horses, hold your horses. You're all about to board the Coffin Express, isn't this just a bit too lively? Let's show a bit of decorum, shall we? Yes. Now, get into line and show the ticket master your tickets, and remember, one for the mourner and your coffin needs one as well. And third class, stay well away from the others.
Come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on. Excuse me,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
First class.
Second class.
First class, please.
You're checking their coffin tickets as well, aren't you? Look, you people at the back, keep your distance. They don't want to be breathing the same air as you.
Second class, please.
Have you got your coffee ticket?
I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere.
Mind yourselves, mind yourselves. Oh, your coffee ticket.
Does that mean I'm not going to
Just a minute. What's your husband's name? What's your husband's name?
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Peter Pan. Have we got Peter Pan on the list?
Yes, down the bottom there, bottom of the
Right,
pile.
we've got him. We've got him. Get on the train.
What do you mean, oh no? What's that about? Oh no. Hello, my husband is Maximilian. Where is he?
It should be with the other coffees.
I said, where's my husband? He's not here. Come on. Where are you? Do not abuse yourself. You've got coffees at the back there, and you don't know where my husband is.
They are looking for him.
You ought to do your bleeding job problem. Take that.
You either get on the train now or go without you. You can get on the train.
Down, please. You're upsetting my children.
What's going on?
Gosh, what's wrong with these people?
Hurry up! We've got a schedule to keep.
I have an appointment. Please.
Right.
Thank you.
You coffin loaders, you have made sure the first class coffins are separate from the third class ones, haven't you? All right, okay then. Well,
All right then.
okay. I think you need to hold on tight for the travelling journey of your life. Off you go. We leave the dense city and reach the open country with the speed of the wind. We pass villages, fields and cottages and farms, open tracts of countryside, and we can see in the distance woods and heathery uplands.
Don't worry about them.
We carry on our difficult way, and in an instant, the funeral train is unlinked plain which has been made into one of the world's great burial grounds here in mighty London. Oh!